guys, and welcome back to my channel, Elena Today. If you are new here, my name is Elena and I'm an American that lives in Calcutta, India, and I like to make videos about my everyday life. So I've had a couple of subscribers ask me to bake something, make some type of pastry or sweet dish. So I thought, why not make you guys one of my absolute favorite sweet dishes of all time, and that is chocolate chip cookies. I've always loved them. They're super simple, nostalgic. You know, I grew up with chocolate chip cookies and they're just my favorite. You can't go wrong with chocolate chip cookies. So I have a recipe. If you've watched my other food recipes, you know I like to make simple, quick recipes. I don't have a hand blender, so I try to make things that anyone, anywhere can make themselves, as long as they have all the ingredients necessary. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. This is a 1-bowl recipe, which I love. So the first thing you want is you're gonna want room temperature butter. This is just gonna make things a lot easier for you to mix. So we want about a half a cup or 4 ounces of room temperature butter. Okay. Then we want about a half a cup of white sugar and a half a cup of brown sugar. Brown sugar is really important in this recipe because it's really going to give it that nice flavor to it. So one of the most important things you need to do now is you need to cream the sugars and butter together. This is important. You just need a little spatula, and that's why we want the butter at room temperature, to help mix everything together. Something that I found, so here in India, the sugar is very thick, very big cubed sugars. If you have granulated sugar, that's best. But because I've baked with the sugar here before, the sugar doesn't seem to get incorporated well into the mixture. So I actually like to blend the sugar down into basically a powdered sugar, and that works perfectly. Okay, that's super simple. So it's already mixed. All right, so the next what you're gonna do is you're gonna add 1 egg. So since the butter was at room temperature, we also want our egg at room temperature. So we'll add 1 egg, and then we'll add half a teaspoon or 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're going to give that a good stir. You just want to stir it until it's just well combined. Okay, that's it, super simple. So now it's time to add the dry ingredients. So I have this little sifter here. What I'm going to do is you want to add about 1 1/4 cup of white flour or Maida. Okay. Then you want to add half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of baking soda. And now one of the special ingredients is about 1 tablespoon of corn flour. So if I really like my cookies crunchy on the outside and chewy on the inside, and the corn flour really helps to do that. And then we just shift. This helps to make sure you don't have lots of clumps in your flour, and it just mixes everything up real nicely. Okay. And then we give this a good stir. And we just mix it until we don't see any more flour. And that's it. And now the most important ingredient is the chocolate chips. So you can use regular chocolate chips. You want to use about 1 cup to 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. I mean, the more the better, however much you like it. If you don't like as much chocolate, you can put less in. Now, unfortunately, I did not have any chocolate chips, but I did have some chocolate bars. So I like to I had a couple of these small chocolate bars, so I took about 3 of these and then diced them up. And I have about a cup of that. So I'm gonna go ahead, put that in. You can also add walnuts if you want, or pecans if you want. I don't have any. I'm making mine a very classic chocolate chip cookie. And sometimes I prefer the chocolate from the chocolate bars. You can get really creamy, yummy chocolate. I like the dark chocolate, but really whatever you prefer. Just really making sure to incorporate all the chocolate chips in your dough. And that is it. That is the recipe. So now it's time to place it on our baking sheet. So this is a non-stick baking sheet. If you don't have a non-stick baking sheet, you can put butter on it or oil just so that it doesn't stick to your pan. But basically, you can make them as big as you want or as small as you want. I like to take about a spoonful, maybe like a tablespoon size. Okay, and then you just put it in your hand and roll it into a nice ball. So this recipe should make about 24 cookies. Now obviously, I will not be eating all of those. So what you can do is you can easily make how many you want at a time, and then you can freeze it. You can put this in the freezer for up to a couple of weeks, and when you're ready to use it, then you just take the batter out or the dough out, thaw it for 15-20 minutes, and then it'll be ready to bake. So that's what I love about this. When I have people over, or if, you know, I love to give my husband some baked goods to take to work. I just love bacon. And back at home when I was working, I would bring baked goods all the time to the office, and people just loved me. So sometimes when you're baking, your cookies might not always come out the same shape and size. And something that can help fix that is basically putting this back into the refrigerator for 30 minutes to an hour. I don't mind that my cookies are different sizes, so I'm not gonna put it in the refrigerator, but if you want to, that's a good tip to keep in mind. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to set my micro oven to 160 degrees Celsius, or it's 325 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's gonna take about 15 to 18 minutes for these cookies to bake. I can't wait. They are done. Oh, they smell so good. So technically you should wait to let them cool down a little, but I never do that. Just can't wait. So they come off really easy. Let's try it. Take this off. So you should let it cool down just a little, but I'm not going to. Oh, smells good. Perfect crunch on the outside, perfect smoothness on the inside. Oh, let's focus that. Look at how delicious, guys. Perfect. It's so good. Super simple, super easy, my kind of baking. Delicious. Perfect, fresh out of the oven. You guys have to try this recipe because it's so simple and your family is going to love it. But that'll do it for today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that. If you did, then please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button because it really helps to support my channel. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye!